What is up, YouTube? Welcome to the Lion's Den. My name's Casey. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button, hit the like button as well. What we do here on this channel is review content in the crypto market and the blockchain space, specifically because that's where the smart money is going right now. So I cover a lot when it comes to the projects, in-depth fundamentals, technicals on charts, you name it, we cover it here. So welcome to the channel, and for all my supporters and people who are watching the channel, I appreciate you guys. Love you guys a lot, man. You're helping me out a lot when it comes to the support. So thank you again. But with that being said, guys, let's get into today's video. I want to talk about a few different things in the fundamentals. Okay, so we're basically just going to cover fundamentals today and show you where we're at and what's taking place in the markets right now. And I want to talk specifically about Palantir. If you're not familiar with what Palantir does, they are basically a data mining company. So they process a lot of large data, and they have deep ties with the CIA and government. Okay, so these guys are basically the equivalent in today's world of what you would consider intelligence. Okay, and the latest news here is that Palantir Technologies said it's preparing for another Black SWAN event by stockpiling gold bars. Okay, now they went ahead and in their earnings report, uh, gave exposure to the investors, let them know what was going on with their purchase of gold, and somebody was like, well, why'd you purchase $50 million? And that's their response. So, being that they have all the data that you would ever need when it comes to global events, where your military is positioned, what's going on in geopolitical aspects of the world, being that they know all that, that should tell you something right there, guys. That's a huge red flag, and it's not, I'm not trying to scare you with this, but it's something to pay attention to, because if you know this, if they're buying gold bars as a hedge, well, what do you think? What do you think cryptos are going to do when it comes to a black swan event, right? We already saw it back in 2020 when this whole pandemic took place. What did Bitcoin do? Okay, of course it went down short term. It was deflationary. We went down to like $3,000 or $3,500. But what happened shortly after that? We rebounded and we took off, and we've been going on an uptrend. We hit all-time highs of 65,000. Then we went, corrected. We had to have a healthy correction here so we could find a new bottom, and then here we are at the current moment with Bitcoin at $48,867. Now, what's interesting about this, if you go back and watch some of my other videos, I'll try to find the video and place it somewhere up here in the top for you. But I was talking about Bitcoin just a few videos back, and I said, back when we were down here around like $32,000, and I told you, you know, within a couple weeks, I wouldn't be surprised if we were at $50,000. And if you look at where we're at right now, 48,891, we'll be there by tomorrow, no problem. Now, the big key here with Bitcoin, just looking at a technical chart real quick, if you see this candle right here, okay, that candle settled above the $46,500 mark. That is exactly what we were needing for Bitcoin to continue its rise all the way back up to a resistance level of 59,900, 59,500, somewhere around there. But that's what we were looking for right there, was that green candle bar on the daily. Now, if we go back out here to the weekly on the macro, okay, look at where we're at right now. We got the golden cross on the MACD. We got room to run, plenty of room to run on the RSI right now. Right now we're sitting here at about 60.38. We could go all the way back up to where we were during its first run up to like 94. So yeah, I mean, we could definitely go a lot higher. And with the RSI being the relative strength index and showing you how much strength is behind the new up move, we're just getting started, guys. I mean, I expect us to blow right past 59,000 sometime, probably in, late August, going into September. Like that's very very doable. It's very likely that that's going to happen. So I'm not trying to get your hopes up here, but just looking at the charts, that's what I'm seeing. Okay. Now if we go back over here to the fundamentals, um, I was talking about Palantir buying gold. So don't don't have any fear. I always tell you, fear nothing, because these markets are volatile. They're going to go up and down like they always do. But regardless of what you see in the news when it comes to geopolitical events and stuff like that that's taken place, I've been covering it, for almost a year now on the fundamental side and showing you what they're doing and how they're moving us into this new financial system that's going to be completely digital. So even if you got chaos, don't look at it as something to be in fear of. Look at it more of like kind of like a distraction, okay? Because all they're trying to do is distract you here, so that you're not paying attention to what they're about to do. They're going to slide it in right under the rug with whatever event might take place. So this should be anything new to your eyes, okay? Especially if you've been in this market dating back to when I was, which would be like 2015. So just keep that in mind. I'll leave a link in the description below so you can go ahead and read this article over for yourself. That brings me to the next portion, which is Stellar Blockchain remittance corridor is to power Thailand and Europe payments. Now, remember when I was telling you Stellar is the back-end development for the new global financial system and the cross-border payments? Remember when I was saying that the XLM Stellar Lumen's ledger would be used for domestic? That's what I'm talking about here. So they're gonna, the Stellar Blockchain remittance corridor is gonna power individual countries. So like we're talking all your local banks within states or countries, inside the country itself. It's domestic, so it's back end development for off ramp on the cross border payment system that's going to be global for the new financial system. And this is proof for you right here. So that's bullish, guys. I mean, if you like what you're seeing here, hit that like button. Let's move on to the next piece. Bitcoin. Okay, today is Friday, right? And normally on Fridays, you're always going to get your options expiries, which are approaching. And, over the past like 3 or 4 months, every time Friday has come around, it always seems like the options expiries are negative, right? So they're bearish because you get all these short positions that are expiring and whatnot. And that's caused the price to basically crash over the past 4 or 5 months like we've seen. But there's a change in sentiment right now when it comes to the options expiring, on Fridays. Basically, Bitcoin is gaining strength as of Friday. So for me, that looks very bullish for prices over the weekend. So if you want to know what prices might do over the weekend, just looking at this, I would say we're bullish. We're going to continue upwards, especially when you're looking at the prices like what I was looking at on the charts. This brings me to the last piece, though. Bitcoin is set to replace gold, says Bloomberg strategist on Bretton Woods' 50th anniversary. Okay, we already had the 50th anniversary. This article's 3 days old. That was the 50th anniversary that we had for the fiat currency, the U.S. fiat currency in the financial system that's been in place for practically last like 30 or 40 years at least, probably even further back than that. We could take it back 50 years, 50th anniversary. Now, when I said 30 or 40 years, I was talking about the taking the fiat currency off of the gold standard. That's what I was referring to when I said 30 or 40 years there. But it's been 50 years since the Bretton Woods financial system. Every 50 years, pretty much, if you just look back in history, we've always went into a new financial system. This new one is no different. Okay, this new one is actually going to be a decentralized shift instead of centralized. So we've always had central authority, right? This one's going to be decentralized. Now, how do I know that? Because all you have to do is go back, look at wealth cycles. Okay, there's plenty of wealth cycles out there that'll tell you we are moving into a decentralized world. If you go back 252 years ago, for instance, okay, to 252 years ago, we had a shift. And if you go back even further, 500 years ago, we had a revolution. And every 500 years, when you have these revolutions and new authorities that take place within countries and across the globe, they've always tend to move away from central authority and go to something that's more decentralized. And Bitcoin just so happens to be this time because we are right at the end of a 500-year cycle. We are right at the end of a 252-year cycle. We're at the end of a 90-year wealth cycle, and we're well overdue on the 8-year business cycle. Okay, all these are aligning though, and it all aligns and repeats. Well, maybe not repeat, but it rhymes with history. And what it's the rhyme here is we're moving from central authority back to a decentralized authority instead, and Bitcoin just so happens to be that's decentralized factor. Okay, interesting stuff. I mean, especially if you study wealth cycles, but go look it up for yourself. I'll leave a link in the description for this as well, so you can read over this. But with all that said, they're talking about replacing gold. Well, the market cap right now, if we go over here, let's just look at the market cap, because Bitcoin at the current moment is, I believe, at about $2 trillion, or the overall market cap right now is 2 trillion, 88 billion, right? If you look at the overall market cap for gold, the overall market cap for gold is like $10 trillion. Yeah, roughly $10.7 trillion for the entire market cap of gold. So if we go back here to this article, they're talking about Bitcoin is set to replace gold. That would mean that we need another $8 trillion come into this market, okay, for the overall crypto space in order for that to happen. Now, I don't know. I don't know what do you guys think? Do you think we're going to see another $8 trillion come in here over the next year? Because this, what they're talking about, it could take 3 or 4 years, right? Which is why I keep telling you, this market is so bullish, guys. Like, don't focus on so much short-term time frames of what's going on, and just focus on your profits only, okay? So, like, if you want to lick your ice cream on the way out, and a dollar cost average on the way out of this blow off top that we have for the bull market, feel free to do so, but I wouldn't liquidate everything, okay? I would hold on to some stuff, and especially when we go back into a bear market, which we will, just double down, triple down, start accumulating again, because you'll get another shot at this here in about 3 years. Yeah, I have a lot of people that I talk to outside of this channel on a day-to-day basis, face-to-face, and it's funny because a lot of their friends who are in the markets and have been doing this for a while are telling them the same thing that I'm telling them, which is, dude, this is your last chance for this bull run, and then you're going to be priced out. But if you miss it, don't worry about it. You got another 3 years of accumulation. Just wait for the prices to come down and get back in the market, okay? Because this market's here to stay. And if you agree with that, hit the like button, okay? But with that said, that's all I've got for today, guys. Hope you enjoyed the content that I'm putting out here for you. And like I said, thank you for the support to all my new subscribers. And I'll be shooting another video here maybe this weekend. Just kind of depends on what kind of news comes out. But I'll definitely be putting out a couple videos here next week. So stay tuned for that. And with that said, again, like I said, have no fear, my friends. Okay? Till next week, I'll talk to you later.